these people think that the tax plan is not fair, aside from the medical, issues of it.
Yeah, I disagree.
You disagree?
I disagree. I really do. I think the cuts were good cuts. We're self-employed, we're hardworking, and
You think specifically that this tax plan helps the middle class, not just the wealthy, which they're saying it only helps the wealthy.
Yeah, no, I think it's good across from what I understood of it, it was good for the middle class. It was a good tax cut for the middle class. It helped us.
Not yet. Hoping to see Ivanka giving her these.
So
I hope to give them to her soon, yes. Hoping for her to get let in. Oh, that she's doing a fantastic job, and that her dad is incredible, and we're glad to have her here at the Jersey Shore.
So you support the tax plan that he's trying to pass, is that right?
I'm going to try to understand it more, which is one of the reasons I'm here. I don't believe everything in the media anymore for obvious reasons, so I wanted to come in. I didn't realize there was a list, so they said that they might still let some people in.
So there's this debate here where the people in this line, very roughly speaking, the people in this line think that the tax plan is a good thing and helps the middle class, and then we have the people over here that think that the tax plan only helps the wealthy. So where do you stand?
I'm hoping it helps the middle class. That's where I'm at. And I think there's a lot of misconceptions. That's why I think a lot of people came here today just to find out what's really going on, listen to what they have to say, give them a chance, and not think negative, right away.
So you're not sure, but you're hoping that it helps the middle class.
For the best, yes.
Anything in particular that has made you happy since he's gotten office?
Oh gosh, just his straightforwardness and his honesty and just how he is and how his family is.
Any disappointments at all?
Not yet. Nope, not yet.
You're happy with your vote?
Extremely.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Anybody willing to say something?
What is your news station?
It's called Citizens BD TV.
Sounds pretty fake to me. Sorry, sounds fake.
I would like to say why we here on the rain and they inside? And we stand over here.
They're not letting you in?
Tell them to open the doors if they want the people to come. The middle class has to be before anybody.
I say everybody.
Everybody, but the
Across
middle
the
class
board.
we work for.
And no spending.
And so,
Spend too much.
so this GOP tax plan that they're trying to pass right now, are you happy with that?
I'm
No,
not going
it
to work
should
and
be
pay
more
for the
strict.
welfare people, support them.
I'm not happy with it.
You're not happy with it.
No.
You hope it doesn't pass.
It should be more conservative and across the board.
So you think it? Are you saying that you think it benefits the wealthy more?
Good enough. No, I don't want it for the wealthy or the poor or this or that. All of us. All.
Do you guys support Trump?
Yes. Yes. It
Very
should
much.
have
We
been what Trump
expect-
is saying because
And
that's what we voted
expect
for.
everybody else that's in office to support him.
Well, I hope you guys get in.
Supported Trump because this is the president. They support Obama that he destroyed the country
Yeah,
and
they
nobody
support
did
him.
nothing.
Can you? I'm curious. You say I'm fake.
Yeah.
What do you know about me that
Well, that's the thing. I don't know anything about it because I've never even heard of the Citizens Media.
So is there a chance that maybe I'm not?
There's a chance, yeah.
Okay. So
So-
if you support Trump, you voted for Trump.
100. Well, I didn't vote. I was too young at the time, but now I'm 18. I would have voted. I'm going to vote for his re-election.
What about this? The plan that they're trying to pass, the tax plan.
I support it.
So the people over here say that it only benefits the wealthy. Some people over here say that it doesn't just benefit the wealthy.
People don't understand the trickle-down effect, really. When you give tax deductions to the rich, it's called Reaganomics, which most people, they don't understand. You do that, they create more jobs and everything. More jobs, and they can pay you more. It's the trickle-down effect. It's been working Reaganomics. It's just simple like that. So that's all.
Okay, so trickle-downomics works. You give money to the wealthy, it trickles down,
Down to everybody, yeah.
and it gives them. And this has historically worked. And this is a genuine question. I don't know. Trickle down.
Ronald Reagan, if you've seen Reaganomics during his era, the Reaganomics was based on trickle-down effect, and the economy was obviously great then, wasn't it? You should know.
Devil's advocate argument. So instead of giving it to the wealthy, how about $15 minimum wage?
$15 minimum wage. All right, that's a huge problem.
That's we're talking about either the
No, I
top,
understand.
or we're talking on the bottom.
That's the trickle down effect is more of a controlled route. Where at $15 an hour straight up, that's basically like you're just all the costs are going to go up. The cost of living, because $15 an hour, everything's going to be more cheaper. The companies are going to have to lay people off to afford those, like McDonald's and all that. And then all the prices are going to go up. All the foods and everything, it's just going to go soaring through the skies.
You're very confident about this trickle down working. What do you base this not working on the other side on? How are you so confident with that? What are you basing that on?
Well, all the statistics that I see about everything, if you just look it up and everything. You get it from Fox News, not just Fox News. You go around, you got to piece things together and everything. You just research, really. You got to look around.
What is the most important thing positive that Trump has done that makes you happy?
Thing. Well,
makes your vote, that you're happy you voted for him.
Definitely the immigration reform and everything, and how the wall is getting built. You see the prototypes and everything that U.S. Customs has showed us, and the 90-day travel ban. It's gonna go up. That's really good. I like about him. The tax plan. Hopefully that comes out. Healthcare when he makes his own. I've just been impressed with everything he's doing. He's been doing everything he's promised so far, from what I've seen.
Okay, so the other side of the question, which you pretty much just answered, is there anything that he's done or not done that is disappointing?
Disappointing.
Based on his promises, based on what you were...
I wouldn't say disappointing. Obviously I'm not going to agree with 100% of the things he are, because you can't be blinded to everybody, but I'm not really disappointed in what he's been doing. I might disagree on something he's done, but not disappointed, no. What
is the biggest thing you've disagreed with?
It's a good question. In reality, I don't really disagree with most that he's done so far.
But you guys voted for Trump?
Definitely, yes.
And are you guys happy with what he's been doing?
Yes, very happy. I think it's easy to coach from the sidelines. I was just here to show my support for the administration and just let them know that there are people that believe in them and know that he'll make the right decision for people, for the working class, and for people who can't help themselves. So I'm totally convinced of that, and that's what I'm here to support.
Drain the swamp. He's totally draining the swamp.
I think the swamp drains itself, to be honest with you. That's what I think.
They're giving him a hard time.
Yeah, I think that
too bad.
I think the swamp will drain itself. Because the bad is going to come out and the good is going to come in, and he's going to see that.
Yes, so far President Trump has kept his campaign promises. Okay, he got rid of the TPP, which was a bad deal. He got out of the Paris Climate Accord, which he said he would do. That was a bad deal. He got Neil Gorsuch appointed to the Supreme Court, which I think was an excellent appointee, which he promised to do, to get a good, solid conservative to replace Antonin Scalia on the Supreme Court. He accomplished that. He's done a lot of deregulation. He's brought some good deals back with automakers to the country. Got the Keystone Pipeline going, and again with American Steel. We're seeing the lowest unemployment rate in 16 years. We're seeing a GDP of 3% for the first time in over 8 years.
Is there anything that Trump has done that has disappointed you? Or not done?
I can't really say that there's anything so far. I think that he's doing a good job. I haven't seen anything that I would say is a real problem so far. He's, like I say, he's kept right on to his campaign.
He's kept his promises. He's drained the swamp. You feel like he's drained the swamp?
It's going to be a good trick. It's not going to be easy. You have a uniparty.
But okay, I got to be honest with you. I don't dislike, but I'm not a supporter.
It's okay. It's fine now.
So regarding the draining the swamp, do you feel like his appointment, such as Steve Mnunchin, is right inside this building, is that a drain the swamp kind of appointment?
Well, that's kind of a ridiculous question. You're asking apples and oranges. When he talks about draining the swamp, he's talking about draining the deep state that's been there through many presidents. Presidents come and go. The deep state stays there. Look at the career politicians that you have that have been there so many years. Steve Mnuchin's not a career politician. He's a businessman that's taken a cabinet appointee position to help the country. So you've got to ask me a question that's not apples and oranges.
Okay, so let me try and reframe the question then.
How can you get somebody to jump out of the swamp that isn't part of the swamp?
I define it more broadly myself, personally.
Because you think he's a capitalist and you don't like that. So you think he's on some sort of a different plane or whatever. It doesn't agree with you, and so you see him then as a swamp denizen. How could that be when he's talking about the entrenched political establishment in Washington, which Mnuchin is not a part of? Now, you might not like him, but that doesn't make him part of the swamp.
Well, I'll tell you my opinion, which is, yes, there's a political swamp, but there's also just the greed swamp.
We're broadening the definition now. See, because that's you. You see,
that's
you
my
asked
personal
me about,
opinion.
But you asked me about Trump draining the swamp, and at no time did President Trump about draining the swamp ever broaden the definition to what you're saying. See, that's what you want to do. You want to broaden it out into something that it isn't, and that's not what it is. So you got to stick to exactly what he's saying. When he says he wants to drain the swamp, he's talking about the career politician
swamp,
established people in Washington. That's correct.
Okay, so he's drained I'll say the political swamp, which is what I think you're defining it as, which is fine. But still, do you like the philosophy of appointing someone like Steve Mnuchin? You're okay with that?
I think that he's been appointed because he brings a certain skill set to this. Now, let's give these people a chance, and let's see if their policies work. We have checks and balances. He can't do anything on his own. It's got to go through Congress. It's got to go through the Senate. It's got to be agreed on. These people are trying to formulate policies that they think is for the good of the country. Now, if you don't agree with it, that's fine. You might have your reasons. But it doesn't discredit him in any way, no.
Okay, all right, fair enough. So just one last question, which is the tax plan. I assume you support the tax plan?
So far, I think it's a start. Let's put it that way. It's a start.
Okay, so these people over here believe that it benefits only the wealthy. Some more people over here believe that it benefits generally everybody.
The facts that I've heard so far would seem to contradict that. Okay.
Which one? I'd said two things.
It benefits the wealthy because actually, if you look at the plan, the only people that aren't getting a tax benefit are the wealthy.
And I'll be open with you. I don't dislike Trump, but I'm not a supporter of Trump. I'm actually a supporter of Bernie Sanders.
That's fine. Listen, one of the important things, we should have discourse in this country. It's good to disagree. It's good to hash out ideas.
I disagree that it's good to disagree.
This is what we have to. We have to have honest debate, Jeff. Honest debate. That's what we need. Okay. And so long as we have that, we'll always eventually we'll come to the right things in our society. Okay.
Personally, find it very important to talk with people who really disagree with me. I've been to three Trump supporter rallies, being open with what I believe in, and it's one of my favorite things that I do.
Yeah, and this is what we need. And of course, no violence. Some of these things that are happening in other areas of the country now, where it turns to violence, is really bad. That's a really bad thing, and that. We have to have civil discourse, like you and I are having right now. We don't have to agree, but we have to be able to talk to each other, right?